Welcome to the installation video for the Happy Trails top case and quick release system. On this top case you will find the same high quality cam latches that you'll find on all other Happy Trails luggage, as well as a positive seal that ensures watertight luggage. And then on the top here you will find the footman loops on the lid for strapping down additional gear or whatever you need there. It also uses a slot hinge design over here, which is handy for when you open the lid off of the top case. You can use it to set things in, and just works really well. So with that said, let's go ahead and verify that we have all of the hardware that we need. If we're missing any of the parts that we need, you can call Happy Trails at 1-800-444-8770, or you can email installation@happy-trail.com to get replacement parts for anything that's missing. In addition to the top box, you will also have 2 M8 bolts, 8 M6 bolts, along with 8 M6 lock nuts and 2 M8 lock nuts. And then you will also have the 2 mounting knobs. You should also have 8 of the 3/16 washers, and then 8 of the 1/4 inch washers. And then you should also have 4 rubber isolators, in addition to the 2 quick disconnect plates here. Since we're using the Happy Trails Elite tailplate system and the quick release setup with the top box, we'll be installing this that way. However, if you're not running the quick release system, then you can use the bolts that bolt down the tailplate to bolt inside the top box down through the tailplate to attach it that way. If you're not running Happy Trails tailplate at all, then you just require a flat surface to bolt the top box to. If you don't bolt the top box to a flat surface, it can twist the box and cause undue stress on the seams. But since we're running the Happy Trails Elite tailplate system for the KLR650, the first step here is to screw one of the M8 bolts through the front screw hole here, and we're going to come from the inside and thread that through to the outside. Once we have that threaded through, we'll go ahead and put one of these M8 lock nuts on the end of it, and we're going to tighten this down just so that the threads are into the nylon on the lock nut. And then we'll go ahead and put the quick release plate on there. And then we'll do the same on the other side. With the 2 QRL mounting plates in place, what we'll do is we'll measure from the inside of each plate while holding it in place to the inside of the other plate, and that is the measurement that we will use when we place the plates on the top box to drill the holes and line everything up. So we want to measure both the front and the back from inside to inside. And then to position the top box from front to back, you can place the top box on top of the mounting plates, and I just make a little mark there on the front and the back to determine where I want that placement of the top box from front to back. Now that we have our measurements and we've marked where we want it from front to back, we'll go ahead and place the quick release plates on the bottom of the top box, with the top box sitting upside down, in between our marks for front to back placement. And then we'll measure and make sure that we have the same distance from inside to inside. Once we have the plates in place, we'll go ahead and mark where we want to drill our holes here. 4 through each plate. And then another thing I like to do is add a layer of Gorilla Tape to the bottom side of the quick release plate. It just acts as a gasket and adds a bit of grip. Another good thing to do is if you have a deburring tool or just a bigger drill bit here, take and deburr the holes that you drilled out just so the edges aren't quite as sharp. And do that on both sides. So next we want to place the bolts through the top box from the inside and through the plate, and then we'll add a washer. And be sure to add a washer on the inside as well. And then we'll add a nylon nut here on the outside. And same for this bolt. We're just going to do these two, and then we'll put the bottom two on. For the outside bolts, place an M6 through the inside of the top case and through the quick release plate, and then place a rubber isolator onto that bolt, and then an M6 nylock into the rubber isolator and onto that bolt. And then you can take a 10mm socket into the isolator onto that bolt and then tighten it down. And you may add a little bit of Windex inside the rubber isolator as lubricant for the socket to easily slide in and out. So what you should end up here with is the 4 rubber isolators on the outside 4 bolts, and then go ahead and tighten everything down. And then on the inside you should see the tops of the 8 bolts along with the 5/16 washers on each bolt. And finally, we'll just slide the top box into place. Add the knob bolt on either side. And that is it. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video has been helpful in installing your new Happy Trails top case and quick release system.